Welcome back to Stir of Nerds. As you can see, we have a guest today. It's called my dog. Her name's Amina.
Hello, and today we are talking about the future of DC. They had their DC Fan Fest last weekend, dropped a lot of bombs, a lot of trailers, teasers, so that's what we're going to be talking about today.
Now, as you might be aware, so you know the whole big question of DC versus Marvel? I'm one of those weirdos who likes both of them quite equally and knows about them pretty equally as well. So whenever people are like, you like DC better because, you know, I have a Batman tattoo, I was like, no, I like both of them. I just haven't gotten my Captain America shield yet. Do you like DC or Marvel better?
I am more Marvel, but I'm excited about the future of DC, but I'm also concerned because I'm late to the party, but I recently watched Birds of Prey all the way through. Took me a couple of tries. I was still disappointed with it, so I'm kind of nervous. DC needs to stop making movies where I don't care about any of the characters till the last 30 minutes.
Okay, see, Mom and I watched it, and okay, my problem with that movie is, first of all, Harley Quinn was never a part of the Birds of Prey at all, whatsoever. She was never a part of that.
No, she was in Gotham Sirens, right?
Yeah, Gotham City Sirens. So she was never a Bird of Prey whatsoever. She had nothing to do with that. I think sometimes the Sirens and Birds teamed up, because the Sirens were Catwoman, Poison Ivy, and Harley. Mm-hmm. And then the Birds of Prey were Black Canary, Oracle, or Batgirl, depends on them.
Well, yeah, depends on if it's before or after she got
Huntress,
shot.
And then Huntress, I believe. And I didn't mind Birds
of Prey. Was Montoya ever Birds of Prey? I
think so,
really?
But I don't know. I can't remember. I don't think she was. I think she wasn't really a bird, but she still helped them out.
Okay.
But
like a night nurse kind of support role.
Yeah, like a night nurse kind of thing. I didn't mind the movie. It was interesting. But I think the problem with DC is that they can't decide what their movies want to be. Like, you got Birds of Prey and Suicide Squad and Shazam that are a little more, what's the word I'm looking for? I guess more comic booky. Like, they kind of like take all the drama and cheesiness of the comic books and like embrace it, right? Like, they're kind of cheesy. They're you know, and then you've got like the grittiness of, I guess, Batman versus Superman or the Man of Steel or Justice League. And then you have your standalone movies like Joker, that's technically DC, but you're like, where does this fit anywhere in this? Which I liked Joker. I thought that was a great movie.
It was a fantastic movie. Joaquin Phoenix absolutely killed it.
Oh, yeah.
More movies like that. Give me more standalones. Stop with making bad team-up movies.
See, I don't want standalones. I want there to be some connection between the movies.
I'm fine with connection, but
there's no... Like I said, they can't decide what they want to be, okay? Because if you look at Birds of Prey,
James Gunn's
Joker...
Suicide Squad is going to be any better? They already released a trailer for Suicide Squad 2, and it's basically like 70s A-Team action film.
Have you watched any of like the animated movies?
A couple, not that many.
They're good. The DC animated freaking movies are amazing, okay? Like, they're awesome.
They're better than the live action, the ones I've seen.
Other than Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman is an exception. Wonder Woman's a great movie.
Yeah.
But no, the DC animated verse, all of those movies are freaking phenomenal.
Mm-hmm. What did I just watch the other day? I watched Wonder Woman Bloodlines.
I need to watch that.
Oh, it was good. It was good. And I think it's a really good precursor to 1984. There's some overlap.
Oh, okay. Constantine is hilarious. I love him. He's a freaking British bastard.
Because he's basically Lucifer, isn't he?
No, he does dark magic, and he's awesome. He wears a trench coat.
Yeah, he's an English Cockney bastard that's like funny but sassy.
Also flirts with everyone under the sun. He don't care if you male, female,
Like I said,
Demon,
Lucifer.
he's amazing. I love Constantine. And then they have Zatanna in it, and
Mhm.
she's one of the most powerful magicians in the DC universe. So they touch on that. And I love those movies like Teen Titans versus Justice League is another good one because I like that we get to see Damian Wayne as Robin because at first you
Mhm.
want to punch the little kid when you first meet him. And Son of Batman, you're like, ugh, this kid. And then he's actually a really compelling character.
Mhm.
He would be awesome to see in a live action thing because he's a
I
wonderful.
I think it would be hard to pull off that character in live action just because you have a lot of the Robin family and then you have to match up the timelines on which
Yeah,
Robin should it be.
the timelines of DC are so wonky. They're
Yeah.
crazy. But my absolute favorite character, and I was just talking to Nick about this because I told him I couldn't sleep, and he told me to think of my favorite DC character, which is Dick Grayson. He's my favorite.
Mhm.
And I've always wanted to see him in live action, a good live action. We will not speak of that horrible movie called Batman and Robin or Batman Forever. Those are horrible fucking movies.
Well, they're
But
campy, they're over the top. It's
they're
what
so campy.
superheroes
That's the
were.
word that I
Campy.
was looking for. Shazam, Birds of Prey, Suicide Squad. They're
It's
kind of campy.
campy.
They're not to the level of campy as the old Batman
I'm
movies.
telling you, Suicide Squad 2 is gonna be campy. Like, just judging from the trailer, I already know it. Which I'm disappointed because I love the bad guy films because it's something Marvel hasn't done yet. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Like, Marvel has amazing villains that have teamed up in the past. Well, I guess you could consider Spider-Man and some of the heroes team up, like Green Goblin and Sandman. But they haven't made a film where the main focus are the villains.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I want Suicide Squad to be really good because we get that action. We get that point of view that's just different from every other superhero film that's come out.
Well, it's got James Gunn, and he was on the Guardian, so it might be good, maybe.
I don't know.
Probably still have that kind of humor, though.
Yeah, but I don't know if Warner Brothers are just going to put a muzzle on James Gunn instead of letting him do what he does.
Yeah, that tends to happen sometimes.
Because he already announced he's going to be working on the next Guardians of the Galaxy film, so he signed a contract with Marvel while he was still producing Suicide Squad, so maybe something wasn't adding up on one side.
Yeah, but no, the DC animated movies, they're really good.
Or the shows. The shows
And the
are
shows,
amazing.
I still need to finish Young Justice,
Mm-hmm.
season 3. I want to give the live action Titans a chance because we're getting a kind of darker, different version of Dick Grayson. But at the same time, I read some reviews and they're horrible. And also, I heard in the second season, they basically retconned the entire first season with the second season. I was like, wait a minute. So do I
Welcome
need
to
to watch the
DC
first
live
season?
action.
I'm so confused. And Paul said Doom Patrol is horrible. He's like,
Okay, so I watched the first season of Doom Patrol. I was with some friends. We watched it. It happened. Just don't think about it too.
okay, so I need to not think about it if I watch Doom Patrol.
Yeah, if you do it with like a few beers, some glasses of wine, settle in, and just you don't watch Doom Patrol. You experience Doom Patrol.
And you have all the CW shows, which I'm very behind on, but I've always liked them.
I get a season or two in, and then I get bored.
See what happened? Okay, see Arrow. I started watching Arrow when I first moved here, so this first season had just ended, and the second season was coming out.
Yeah.
And I watched Paul comes to me and is like, Keely, you need to watch this show. And I looked at him and went, no. I don't like Green Arrow. He's like, I'm telling you, you will like it. He was insistent. And I was like, all right, whatever. So I ended up watching the first season of Arrow and fell in love.
Well, I mean, you had Captain Jack Harkness as Merlin. What was there not to love?
Right? And I loved it. It was so good. Like the first 2 seasons, I think, are honestly the best 2 seasons of that.
Yeah.
Towards like the 5th season, that's where I got lost because okay, spoilers a little bit. They get new team members after the 5th season. Like you start off season 6 with a completely different new team, and
I'm
then you
not
have
even
Oliver.
that far in, so.
But the problem is these characters are just there. Like you don't get to know them. You don't get an introduction to them. They are just there, and they're just like, where the fuck did you come from? Who are you?
I didn't get
Like,
much past the Black Canary storyline.
oh, and my problem with Black Canary is that they didn't get her right until she was dead. Okay, they actually had her character right. They almost had her right. If they would have just not killed her, they would have had a great Black Canary because she was almost there.
They messed up Black Canary's Birds of Prey, too.
Mm-hmm.
I did not like Black Canary at all. You have this wonderful, strong woman who's so badass, and then you don't let her use her powers until there's 20 minutes left in the movie.
Oh,
that was bullshit.
Oh yeah, she's got an incredible power. In the comic, she really was a singer at some point, though.
No, I respect that, but she doesn't use anything in Birds of Prey until the last 20 minutes. Why? Drives me nuts because DC keeps doing this. You have these amazing people, but you don't get to really know them or fall in love with them until the last half of the movie, and by then you're already over the entire film.
In Huntress, I did not like her. Her character
Huntress
was very awkward.
Well, I get why they were going for awkward. That's fine. Even though Huntress in the comics is like suave and sexy and.
Well, yeah, her and Dick Grayson hook up a lot.
Well, yeah, but.
Well, actually, she kind of seduces him, gets him the information, and leaves him high and dry. And then he's like, you know what? I respect that. I'm gonna do the same damn thing to you.
Yeah. They have a very Batman Catwoman vibe between the two of them.
See, Huntress she's not really a hero, but she's not really a villain. She's an anti-hero like Jason Todd, aka Red Hood, aka the second Robin that was voted to be killed off in the comics.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I liked Huntress to a degree, but I just felt like they could have given her more personality and she could have done something. I don't know. Anyways, that's not what we're supposed to be talking about today. Jesus Christ.
Technically it's still DC, so.
It is, but we're supposed to be talking about the future of DC. Let's talk your favorite. Let's start with Wonder Woman 1984.
That is such a great reaction, just so you know. I don't know if you can see her, but I love Wonder Woman, okay? Like, Angela got that for me. I love Wonder Woman. I have a Wonder Woman costume. She is my favorite character. We are definitely seeing Wonder Woman in theaters. Mom's like, we will just fucking wear a mask. We are seeing it in theaters. I loved the first Wonder Woman movie. It was awesome. I loved it so much. And I think Angela and I talked about how my love of Steve and Diana because of the fact that they're a great couple. Anyways, back on track. We all know that Steve dies, and I'm going to say this, and for us to be like, really? I don't care how he is alive in Wonder Woman 1984. Like, the writer part of me is like, I don't trust you. You know what I mean? Like, the tiny little part.
I'm going to go with Time Vortex for 200, Alex.
Right? I'm going to be like, I don't really trust you. I think you really are Steve. I think Diana would know if that wasn't Steve, honestly. I just hope that he gets to actually stay and this isn't like a trick or something, because that would just be devastating for her.
I mean, it could be. there's a few characters that can transform in the DC universe. There's a few characters that could do projections, hallucinations.
Yeah.
It's not out of the realm of possibility, but it looks like he does interact with the physical world, so I'm
Yeah.
gonna count out hallucinations for now.
Like I said, I kind of want to know just because I'm still kind of leery. Because again, I really hope he's like actually alive, and this isn't like
Yeah.
some plot.
But we are getting a very famous Wonder Woman she-villain. What did you think about her from the trailer?
Well, you don't really get to see her that much. Like you see a little bit, and then you kind of see before she's Cheetah.
Mm-hmm.
And Cheetah's always been is I think probably one of the most like iconic Wonder Woman villains besides Ares. You kind of see Barbara, that's Cheetah, before.
Yeah.
And you kind of see that her and Wonder Woman are friends.
It's interesting that Cheetah is in 1984 because she's not like a historic villain for Wonder Woman. So it's interesting that they're going to put it in like, I don't want to call it a prequel film because it's not, that's not what it is. But they're setting it up in an odd way that they'll, in any future Wonder Woman films, Cheetah will have a role.
Mm-hmm.
But because she's just such a classic villain, it's like the Joker to the Batman universe.
Mm-hmm.
She's just always there.
Yeah, so it'll be I really hope they actually go into how she becomes Cheetah, like because there's different. I think in one version she prays to some goddess and she gets the powers. Yeah, something like that. In others, she's like possessed. It really just depends on what
there's genetic
using.
Mutations.
Mm-hmm.
They've retconned her origin story a couple of times.
Okay, DC retcons everything. Okay,
Marvel retcons their comics all the time.
Mm-hmm.
However, DC takes it a bit far.
That's why. Okay, so like I want to read
because you got the new 52, and then you have the OGs, then you have the Gold Age, the Silver Age, the Bronze Age of comics, and it's just, where do you start?
Silver Age.
Yeah, where do you start?
Right, and I want to read comics. I have a nice little collection going, but like I don't know where to start. And also, I don't really like the new 52 because they screw up all the Robins.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, okay.
Well, we're also used to the Robins from the animated series, which are a total 180 from comic book Robins. So that could also be creating a problem. We got not really a trailer, but a teaser for the Batman. What were your initial reactions?
Okay, so when I first heard that Robert Pattinson was going to be Batman, I think I gagged.
I like to give actors the benefit of the doubt.
And then after I gagged and went, okay, maybe he won't be that bad. He's actually not a bad actor. I've seen him in some other things. But so when I watched the trailer, I like the grittiness. I like that. It kind of reminds me of, did you ever watch the Batman animated series?
Bits and pieces. I have a short attention span.
It kind of reminds me of that. Kind of like gothic and gritty. And even though I don't like necessarily the older Batman movies, the reason why I kind of appreciate them is because they had that kind of gothic edge to them.
Mm-hmm.
It's Gotham, okay?
Yeah.
Goth is literally in the fucking name.
Well, Gotham is supposed to be New York City, isn't it? And the dark, gritty New York of the 70s and 80s.
Okay, see, there's a lot of, some people say that Gotham is just Chicago, and then some people say it's New York. So it really
depends. People think that, like, Superman and everything is Chicago or Dallas, and it's hard to explain.
which is also another annoying thing.
Let me
But
look it up
also,
if Gotham is supposed to be New York or, yeah, Batman's Gotham City has been thought to be New York City, but some artists view it as Chicago.
yeah, and
So it
also,
depends on which era, I guess.
but also, Metropolis and Gotham, they're supposed to be twin cities. They're just
Yeah,
separated by water.
correct. They're like an ocean away, not even.
Yeah, but I like the gothic edge to this Gotham
Hmm.
because yes, okay, if it's supposed to be New York, I ain't never been to New York, so they failed. So I don't know. I don't care. I like the gothic edge to it. Like
Yeah.
I still think, yeah, it's got to be classy and shit, but it can be classic. It can be classy and New Yorky and still have a nice gothic edge too. Because
Well,
Gotham's
okay,
supposed to be like
so
the worst city to live in.
story time. New York City back in the 70s and 80s was really gritty. It was full sex, drugs, rock and roll, whole story, gangbangers ruling the streets. It was really dark. And in the 80s, I think it was, there was the Department of Sanitation held protests. So, like you see in Joker and the buildup and rise of garbage, and how the um, garbage workers are protesting and everything. That actually happened in New York in the 70s and 80s. So they do pull in some historical facts to give the city life, which I've always liked about DC. You feel like you're in a real place in a real time.
Hmm. I like that too. Like I said, I like the aesthetic. Terrible with that word that they're doing with this city. I was starting with
Yeah.
that because I appreciated the dark, gritty, gothic-y.
Just Enigma, please, please make the Riddler good. He is my favorite DC villain, and I will be so upset.
He's good in the DC animated movies, and I think in a
Yes.
few of them they have Matthew Gray Goobler, who plays Reed from Criminal
Yeah.
Minds, is his voice. But no, the Riddler.
Oh, he's
The
just
only
so
live action
amazing. They
was that
fans
horrible
already.
movie.
Well, okay, first of all, Jim Carrey wasn't that bad as the Riddler. Film, the entire film was campy. It's like blaming Schwarzenegger for Mr. Freeze. Like, it's not his fault. It was the writing, it was the aesthetic of the entire film. It was just
Okay,
all over the top, bat nips, the works, okay?
Bad Nips. That was just that credit card.
Yeah. But we
But
got a
no,
whole list because there's going to be 6 villains in the Batman, right? They
okay,
announced. Why do I have to look up so many things?
it'll be fine. But no, I think okay, I like that this is. I know we were talking about this before we started recording, but I like that it's a younger Batman because,
Yes.
like, okay, yes, you got to see him and Batman Begins as he was starting, but I still felt like Christian Bale's Batman was a little too ready. Like he
Yeah.
wasn't green enough. That sounds funny to say, but like I felt like he was a little too
Hmm.
good at it and he should have failed a lot more.
We haven't really seen a year 1, year 2 Batman in live
Exactly.
action yet. I mean, we haven't even seen it in animated versions either. He's already just established Batman.
Well,
Oh,
no, there's the year
and the
one
4
movie.
confirmed villains for the Batman are Catwoman, Riddler, Penguin, and Falcone.
Ooh, good. Very good.
Hmm.
But no, you see him in the beginning and like there's actually a movie a little movie that's called animated movie that's called Year One.
Hmm.
So you see him in the beginning with that, and it'll be interesting if they. I haven't seen that in a while, but it'll be interesting if they take some stuff from there. But you're right, we haven't seen like
Yeah.
a real true year one, year two live action one, and that's why I'm excited about it because.
I think it's also loosely based on the comic The Long Halloween,
Mm-hmm.
which Catwoman plays a big part in, but it's a good comic. It's not one of my favorites, But it's worth a read if you get the chance. I'd rather watch a YouTube summary like Comic Storians, but
I'll have to read it or watch a YouTube summary thing.
yeah.
Because I've heard of it and I kind of have a gist of it, but that's it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think, first of all, Robert Pattinson, I think he's going to make a very great Bruce Wayne. He's pretty, okay? He is pretty and he's got a very nice jawline, and I can appreciate that. I'm a little concerned about Batman, but also not. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, if we were getting an older, like, Batman, I'd be really concerned about Robert Pattinson because he's kind of like, he's very young looking.
Yeah.
He's not quite like, like he couldn't play like a middle-aged Batman,
No.
But because we are getting a younger Batman,
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay with this because everyone's like, he's not bulky enough. I was like, guys, this is year 1, year 2 Batman. He's not going to be bulky enough, guys. Not yet. Come on.
Yeah.
He's still doing his training regimen, people. I don't know how I feel about their Catwoman yet, simply because we didn't really get to see her except for like a tiny little sliver of a moment.
Yeah. But I mean, Selena Kyle on screen has always been hit or miss, because I'm assuming they're going with the Selena Kyle Batwoman. It's the fan favorite.
Mm-hmm.
There have been other Catwomans, but that's a long story. But I hope that it's more like animated Selena Kyle rather than the one that we already saw in the Dark Knight trilogy.
What do you mean by animated?
Like, I felt like she was a lot more fun and teasing, whereas in the Dark Knight series, she was a little bit more serious. I want to see, like, more of that playful Catwoman again.
Yeah. Michelle Pfeiffer's, her Catwoman, I loved her Catwoman in the older Batman movie. Her Catwoman was awesome. That's why.
And then there's the Halle Berry Catwoman.
Okay, we're ignoring that. I love you, Halle Berry, and while you were smoking in that movie, I know that movie is not your fault.
No, it wasn't. We can't blame the actors and actresses for bad writing.
I know that was not your fault.
But Halle Berry in leather.
Yummy.
Anywho.
But no, I was a little iffy about Anne Hathaway being Catwoman because
she was okay. I didn't love it.
Because Anne Hathaway, I grew up with like Princess Diaries and all her and Ella Enchanted, right? So like, I don't think sexy when I see her. I think adorable.
Mm-hmm. And like I said, she didn't really bring that playful nature to the character. Again, that could just be her as an actress, or it could have been the writing, but she's always like teasing Batman, and it's about the chase, and like she basically tortures him, and I always found that a lot of fun. So I just hope they bring a little bit more of that levity to the character.
Yeah, I think I like her playfulness. But see, the Dark Knight Rises, Batman Begins, I always felt like those were more serious films anyway, so maybe they felt, maybe the writers felt like a more playful Catwoman was not the way to go.
I get that.
I mean, you had a very, very serious Batman, like very serious.
Well, the more serious the Batman, I think the funner you need Catwoman to be.
Yeah, that's not the route they took, though.
No, it's not. But I'm not a writer for DC, so I can't tell them what to do.
Okay, we might be, though.
We're just more likely to work DC for Marvel. I don't know. Do I want to work for DC, Marvel, or Dark Horse? I feel like Dark Horse would be a lot of fun. I want to see live-action Dark Horse movies. Please?
Wasn't Watchmen Dark Horse?
Yeah, but I didn't really get into the HBO series of Watchmen.
I've heard it's good. Mom said it's good.
I watched the first one in New York Comic-Con because they showed us the first episode at a main event panel. And then I watched the second and third, and I just couldn't get behind it. I don't know, it was dark, but I wanted it to be darker. I'm messed
Like
up.
The Boys
But
Dark, which
yeah,
is out
like the
tonight.
original Watchmen movie. Like the original Watchmen movie captured how dark the it's not it is a comic book, but it's more like a graphic novel. It was
Hmm.
so dark. I wanted the show to reach like that level of fucked up, and it didn't.
You know what show's fucked up? The Boys. Mom and I
Um,
rewatched the entire first season, and I forgot some parts of it because it had been a while, and I went, "Oh wow, that
mhm.
just happened."
I was watching a breakdown of a trailer, and the guy narrating the breakdown was like, "And here we have the boys' first Nazi member," and I was like, "Oh shit!" Oh, the boys, what are you doing? It's gonna take me a few days to watch it just because I have a lot going on. So I'm not
Yeah,
gonna binge it all tonight. I'm sorry. That's usually what I would do.
we'll probably binge it tomorrow, but we also want to watch Mulan because that's also out. So I'm gonna be like, "So Mom, The Boys or Mulan?" Well, which one are we
I,
watching?
you know, my friend watched Mulan and he was not impressed. Um, so yeah, that's all I have on that. But I'm excited for the boys. Just I'm working tomorrow, and if everything goes through, I'm working Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So it's gonna take me a bit of time to get through the boys
Yeah,
season 2.
yeah, and I gotta today. I'm gonna be working on homework.
Oh, being an adult sucks.
It really
So
does.
we also from DC Fan Fest, we also got 2 new video games, a new Batman game, but it's not connected to Arkham Asylum games.
I
We
love the
also
Arkham Asylum games.
It's not in the same universe, but I think it's by the same team. But it's so good. And we also got a teaser for a Suicide Squad game that looks kind of fun and it looks really good.
Nice. I didn't know about that. All I knew was Wonder Woman. Sorry. My brain saw Wonder Woman and everything else disappeared. Nothing else existed.
We got a few on-set shots of James Gunn's Suicide Squad or Suicide Squad 2, and they have a lot of like the goofy characters that you know are gonna die early on. You have Nathan Fillion as Retachable Arm Kid, or okay, his entire superpower is that his arms come off and he throws them at people and whatever. So
Oh
you
yeah,
know
he's
there's gonna
dead.
be characters that are going to die early on in the movie. They're just there to be fun. But you also, I can't remember his name at the moment, but you have the polka dot guy that throws polka dots and he could open up portals and black holes and start fires. So he might stay, I don't know, but it looks campy and, like I said, a very A-team kind of film, and the colors are very bright, which is more reminiscent of like older Marvel films. So maybe James Gunn brought his magic, but I'm also worried that Warner Brothers put a muzzle on him and didn't really let him produce the Suicide Squad he wanted to.
Yeah. The Suicide Squad roster is always changing too.
Well, yeah. We got Margot Robbie back as Harley Quinn. The same actress is playing Amanda Waller, which I'm excited about because she killed it as Amanda
Oh my
Waller.
gosh, she did.
She,
Viola Davis
her,
killed it as
oh
Amanda
my
Waller.
goodness, she was so good. She was the best part of that movie besides Harley Quinn.
Right? She was freaking awesome. I
Oh,
was
she was
like,
so good.
wow. Like, man, you picked the most perfect woman in the freaking universe to play that
Just
bitch.
the deadpan and the way she delivers her lines and just
Exactly. She's in How to Get Away
she's
with
so
Murder,
good.
the actress.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, so good. I love her.
when we were watching How to Get Away with Murder, we watched it because of her, because she plays Amanda Waller in Suicide Squad. But she does such a great job. No one else could play that. Like the chick that they have in Arrow who played Amanda Waller, she couldn't get it like fucking Viola Davis.
She was okay, but she was almost too emotional, and Amanda Waller always had like this detachment because she was working with the worst of Gotham City all the time. So kind of like the opposite of Montoya.
Mm-hmm.
She was just so beaten down and over Gotham.
Mm-hmm.
So
It just no, she was so perfect.
she was so good. So
I
I'm
was like,
excited that they were able to bring her back as Amanda
yes,
Waller.
definitely. I'm glad that they brought her back. So I wouldn't have been okay if they had brought some new chicken.
Yeah, no one could have nailed that role like her.
Mm-hmm. And I love Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn.
Again, I didn't like Birds of Prey, but that's not Margot Robbie's fault. That's a writing problem.
I
But
don't think that movie knew what it wanted to be.
I think that movie had an idea and started with an idea, but then it just lost it along the way. This happens over and over with DC live action. They start with an idea and then everything gets thrown away on the cutting room floor. And there's months of reshoots. There's just so much that happens, like, because you don't only have DC, you also have Warner Brothers.
Yeah,
So it's just,
it's like Wonder Woman was awesome, and I liked Aquaman, and I liked Shazam. So like, they're standalone movies
mm-hmm.
that are not like yeah they're connected, but they're not ensemble. They're non-ensemble movies are not bad.
Yeah. I enjoyed Shazam for what it was. I didn't love it. I
Yeah,
know
I agree.
I wanted it to be better. Again, Shazam is such a classic character, and I like Shazam when he pisses off Batman. So maybe that just felt it was missing. He didn't really get to show his annoying side because that's kind of what Shazam does. He pisses off his enemies more than beats them.
Right.
So I felt like that was kind of a little lost in the character. Wonder Woman was absolutely amazing. Joker was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Aquaman was good, but I don't think that was the writing. I think that was Jason Momoa. He just killed the role, and
I
because the
think he did.
writing wasn't great either.
I liked his role. I think he did a really great job because he somehow managed to be okay, let's be real. Jason Momoa is a huge dude. He's
Yeah.
smoking. I would drink his bathwater all the way. And but he somehow managed to be a little vulnerable in the movie. Not like a lot, but enough where it made Aquaman a little bit more real.
Well, because I don't think it was Jason Momoa as Aquaman. I think it was Jason Momoa as Jason Momoa. I
Right.
follow him on Instagram, and he just seems like a genuinely sweet dude.
Yeah, he is.
So
I follow him too.
I feel like he didn't really have to act in Aquaman, and that's why it came off as so authentic. Whereas in some DC movies, you feel like the actors and actresses feel very forced.
And I think that's why Wonder Woman was so good because Gal Gadot is just a wonderful human being in real life too. Like
Mm-hmm.
she's great. Like
Yeah.
her interviews are just always so sweet and genuine, and like you can tell when people are faking it in interviews, and she never seems fake. So I think that's why she's,
Mm-hmm.
so it's the same thing. But I liked Aquaman a lot, and the cutest thing about that movie, honestly, was Aquaman's parents.
Yeah.
Like when because he starts off talking about his parents and how they met and everything, and then how his dad every single day went to the dock waiting
Yeah.
on his mom. And I'm like, that is so sweet. And it's something that's like they didn't make it like it wasn't like an obvious like thing. It was just him telling the story.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he goes to the dock and she's there, I cried.
It was. It was a
It was
good
so
movie.
sweet.
I
And
was
the two
happy with it.
actors had some great chemistry too.
Hmm.
Nicole Kidman and whoever played the father, but they had some great chemistry. But it was so sweet, and I didn't. And I know you've been keeping up with what's happening with Johnny Depp and Amber Heard.
Yeah.
You know she's not gonna be in
No,
Aquaman 2.
there's been a few different announcements about who's going to replace her. I forgot who the fan favorite was.
Emilia Clarke.
Yes, Emilia Clarke is more likely to co-star with Aquaman next, which I'm down with. She looked
Yeah,
so good because I don't know if it was a test shot or a fan made it, but they gave her like the red hair and put her in the costume, and it looked damn good.
yeah.
Even
It's
better
probably
than Amber Heard. She looked good.
Yeah, and also Emilia Clarke and Jason Momoa, they have history from Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
And so they have great chemistry together and they work well together. So I think that'll work. But I think the fans are so not okay with Amber Heard. So most of the time, you know how
Yeah.
fans are like, no, don't recast. In this instance, it's one of those
It's
cases
like,
where the fans are
please,
like,
please
please
recast.
recast. We will be okay.
Yeah,
Recast. We don't want her.
100%.
I would totally be okay with Emilia Clarke. I told Paul that, and he's like, "Oh, okay, yeah, I'm good with
Yeah,
it."
as long as they do a good recast, I don't think anyone will mind.
Yeah, I don't think
It's
anyone
not like
will.
they're recasting Jason Momoa. See that?
Right,
Then people were like, nope, I'm boycotting, cancel
right,
DC.
right. Cancel it. We'd just be like, "Wait, what? Who the hell is this?"
Yeah.
But no, I think Emilia Clarke is definitely the fan favorite
Hmm.
for Mira. But I also didn't think Amber Heard, and she came off as awkward to me. I didn't
Yeah.
really, and a little,
Black
I don't know.
Manta was really good in the movie, though. I liked him.
Yeah, I liked him a lot. He was very good.
He was good. He had good character motivations.
Mm-hmm.
Right, we
Mm-hmm.
have to wrap up soon. I have to go to the doctor's appointment, but
Okay.
doctors.
What
Right,
else do
so
we want to say?
there's a lot going on with the future of DC. There's a lot going on with the future of Marvel, but with
That's another
everything,
episode.
yeah, but with everything going on, the Batman, Robert Pattinson, Black Adam, The Rock, both of them have been diagnosed with COVID. We don't know when we'll actually be seeing these movies, but I think the Batman handled it really well because they did like a joke on Enigma on the Riddler, because at the end of the trailer it says like 2202 question mark, which I thought was really creative because one, we don't know, and two, you
Yeah.
have the Riddler as a main villain. So
Mm-hmm.
it was really creative.
Yeah, I like when they're creative with stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
Did a
who
good
knows when
job.
we'll see it? Especially since, like you said,
When was
Pattinson.
Wonder Woman supposed to come out? I don't even remember. Obviously they got postponed.
I think it was supposed to come out in May.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was supposed to come out in May, and now it's coming out October 2nd.
Okay.
Fact check me. I'm pretty sure it's October 2nd.
All right. But yeah. So,
But
lot to look forward to. I'm excited.
yes, we finally see movies.
Well, you may be able to because the theaters by you are open. All right, Disturbed Nerds, thanks for listening us talk about DC and its future. We're super excited for what's upcoming.
Super excited.
All right, thank you for listening. Stay safe, stay
Ciao,
healthy.
guys.
Bye.
Bye.